Welcome to a review of the Maryland real estate exam. This short conversation is going to have a focus on the topic presented on the Maryland real estate exam. There's 6 topics that are presented on the Maryland part of the exam. One of them is licensing requirements. Thanks for being here. We're going to be talking about licensing requirements. When you are taking the exam, this is a great session to those of us who are definitely getting their Maryland real estate license for the first time, meaning that this is where you went, took the licensing course, and now you're working to get either your broker license in Maryland or you are working towards getting your salesperson's license. This session is also beneficial for the person who already has a real estate license outside of Maryland. And now all you need to do is to pass the Maryland part of the exam. We are under the PSI testing facility and their candidate bulletin, which is found on their website. We shall present that particular website link on the description. When you access this bulletin, which I call should be what you're using when you're studying, it breaks it down for you, the questions. There's 6 topics presented on the Maryland part of the exam. Duties and powers, 4 questions on the salesperson's exam, 5 on the broker exam. Licensing requirements is what we're focusing on today. There are 4 questions on the salesperson exam, 8 on the broker exam. Brokerage relationship is the 3rd topic that produces most of the questions. And the other 3 are supervision, business conduct, and ethics. Take advantage of the free resources that we have available to you. One of them is our Facebook community page, Pass the Real Estate Exam. When you go to groups, you're going to find Pass Real Estate Exam, and from there we shall also be tackling a couple of content there. Our YouTube library is growing. We ask that you share, like, make a comment, and definitely subscribe if you haven't already. Brenda Kasuva is our channel, and we have other videos in our playlist to continue this conversation on the Maryland part of the exam. We also have another one to go through the national part of the exam. You're here because you definitely want to review for the Maryland part of the exam. We're focusing on licensing requirements. Reminder, there are 4 questions on the salesperson exam. And then for the person who's taken the broker exam, because you've taken the 135 hours, or you're a broker outside of Maryland and you want to become a broker in Maryland, then you're going to get 8 questions. The licensing requirements, the content under that topic are: what do I need to do to have a license? Or when I have a license, what is it that I need to do? Or what are the stuff that require us to have a real estate license? Change in license status. So when you have it, then how is it that I'm able to change that particular status? License renewal, when you get your license, what are you supposed to do in order for you to keep it? And then continuing education requirements as well. The broker exam is going to have, in addition to those topics that we shared, it's going to include the topic of partnership and corporation, what you need to know as a broker since you're setting up your business here to be the broker. What are the things you need to know in terms of the business location, what is required, and if you're going to have ownership with others, then how much of it are they able to own? So questions here is, what are we covering today? So I'm very specific here on what I'm covering. I'm trying to make this as short as possible. I'm going to talk on the 2 topics: license renewals and continuing education requirement. This is all under licensing requirements. The best source of information is the Real Estate Commission website. When you go to their website and go to licensing information and application on their menu, you will get some information there about licensing we shall also be looking on the education page as well. But take the time, for example, if you don't have a textbook or you didn't carry a textbook, this is a great resource on this particular topic, again, found on the Real Estate Commission website. You have now taken the course, you have passed the exam, congratulations. You then need to decide which brokerage you're going to work for. Once you decide which brokerage you're going to work for and apply to get your license and pay the fee for the salesperson, that's $90. For the broker person, that's $190. And then for the associate broker, it's $130. Your license is good for 2 years from the date it was issued. So let's give examples. If your license is issued to you on October the 16th of 2022, it is good till October 16th, 2024. So your license is good for 2 years, and the 2 years starts from when it was issued. And how is it issued? You have completed the course if needed, or you have passed the exam. You have now selected which brokerage you're going to work for, and you've made the necessary payment to the Real Estate Commission. 2 years is how long your license is good for. Prior to the expiration date of your license, in my example, I picked the date of October 16th. So let's assume it is now October 16th, 2024. 60 days prior to that, you're going to get a reminder. That reminder is going to be sent to you via email, letting you know, okay, Brenda, you have 2 months to renew your license. Hopefully you've done this, this, and this. This, and this is continuing education that you need within that 60-day notice. Within your 2-year renewal, you need to complete a minimum of 15 hours of continuing education. And then in that notice, it's also going to talk to you about how you are able to renew your license. To renew your license, you need continuing education. I already gave you a hint. Continuing education, the minimum hours is 15 hours within that 2-year bracket. Could you take more? Yes. Do they roll over? No. You're just gaining more information on whatever topic that you took. The ones that are going to apply for your license as continuing education need to be approved by the Real Estate Commission. There are 4 mandatory topics. And when you visit the Real Estate Commission website and you now go to the education page, it breaks it down for you. You're noticing there are 2 major clusters, salesperson and associate broker, and then broker or manager or team leader. And then within the 2 categories, you have residential and commercial. There's going to be a similarity here that we're going to go through. Here, let's get started with a reminder. You've now already gotten your license. Your license is, let's say, due to expire October 16th, 2024. 60 days prior to that date, you're going to get a reminder letting you know, hey, Brenda, you need to have completed your 15 hours minimum of continuing education. And if you haven't, okay, you have 2 months. So before I renew my license, I need to have completed the minimum 15 hours. How is it broken down? There are 4 mandatory topics for the residential licensee. Residential licensee covers whom? A salesperson, a manager, a team leader, or a broker practicing residential solely. So practicing residential solely or a blend of residential and commercial. So if they're doing anything to do with residential, there are 4 mandatory topics. How are they broken down? Legal and legislative updates. Some of us might just call that legal updates. Ethics. We have brokerage relationship and disclosure, formerly known as agency. So when you hear some of us still calling that agency, the true name of the course is brokerage relationship and disclosure. And then fair housing. To help some of us remember, then the acronym you might use is LEAF, keeping in mind L for the legal updates, E for ethics. The A, we came up with this when the class was still called agency. You just need to remember that it is standing for brokerage, relationship, and disclosure. And the last one is fair housing. There are minimum hours for each of these courses. Legal updates is 3 hours. You could take more. Minimum is 3 hours. Ethics is 3 hours. Brokerage, relationship, or BRAD, or again, just following along the acronym agency is 3 hours. So I usually say of the 4 mandatory topics, all of them are 3 hours, except fair housing. Fair housing minimum is half of that, 1.5 hours. When somebody is supervising others, they have 1 extra mandatory topic. This is your broker. This is you, the team leader. This is you, the office manager. So you're supervising others. That individual is going to take a course known as broker supervision, which is still part of the 15 hours minimum of continuing education within their 2-year cycle, only required for brokers, managers, and team leaders. If a salesperson takes this class, then it counts as electives. For the other group, which is the commercial, and this is solely the person who does only commercial. How does a real estate commission know? It's based on the company. So any company that only does commercial, those real estate agents under that commercial real estate brokerage are exempt from taking the fair housing course because fair housing is on the residential side. They're not going to take any less hours. They're just going to supplement it with a course to do with Americans with Disabilities Act or something else. Either way, they're still taking 15 minimum hours of continuing education for their 2-year cycle. All the other hours are what are referred to as electives. However, here they still need to be approved by the Real Estate Commission. This could be on any topic that you might want to learn more on. It could be on inspections. It could be on financing. It could be on appraisal. As long as it is approved by the Real Estate Commission, it counts for your continuing education. So when you're taking classes, yes, to improve yourself, that maybe is being offered by someone in a state like Florida, it might not count for your continuing education, but it's definitely improving on your professional development. If you wanted to count for continuing education, check with the school or the person providing it and see whether it is approved by the Real Estate Commission for continuing education. You do have time frame, and the time frame that we are discussing here is there's a deadline as to when you need to take this exam and pass. We strongly encourage you for you to schedule it as soon as possible. You don't want to be waiting until the last minute. We know that life events happen. If you're able and capable, go ahead and schedule that exam as soon as it is possible. Let's continue this conversation online. My name is Brenda Kasuva, or Training with Brenda. Right now you have the opportunity to scan the QR code on the top right-hand side. I welcome you to continue watching all the other videos that are presented on our channel on YouTube. I love the conversation of us scheduling time for us to go through a tutor session, or you are welcome to attend one of our group coaching sessions that we offer on a regular basis. If you haven't already, join me on the Facebook community page, Pass the Real Estate Exam. You can find that by going to Training with Brenda. Thank you so much for your time. That was awesome, right? You like our style? I look forward to helping you reach your goal of passing the real estate exam. We offer group coaching sessions on a monthly basis, And we also have tutor sessions that would match your availability. Show the love. Go ahead and subscribe. Put your comments in the video here and we shall respond. Go ahead and like, share it with your friends. I look forward to helping you reach your goal of passing the real estate exam.